Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. Woo! Today on episode 202, I was very lucky to have Howard Berg on the podcast. He has the world record for the fastest reader in the world. I got to say we had many interesting conversation. He taught me a few techniques about learning how you could read faster, and we also talked about his program, how he is basically helping people to become that a little bit more intelligent. All I've got to simply say is this man might have the world record for basically reading, but he is truly trying to work on helping people empower themselves by gaining more knowledge. I say, please sit back, enjoy the show. Don't forget, subscribe, and maybe we can all learn something from Howard here. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy the show. Peace. Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. Woo! Today on episode 202, I am very privileged, lucky to have the world's fastest Guinness Book of Records reader. That is Howard Berg. How are you today, sir?
I'm ready for 202.
Listen, I'm ready for 202. Like, before we started this, like Howard's like, you know what? I knocked 4 of these podcasts out, no problem, a day. I was like, okay. He is ready. He's ready to rock and roll. Look at him. He's even going to go shimmy on.
I gave up my job at Chippendales because I wanted to be loved for my mind, not just this body.
Well, hey, like your Chippendale lifestyle, like I would love to hear a story about that.
So would I. Very much story because I never did it.
Oh my Lord, Howard, I can tell you're a bit of a card already. There you go. Oh God, this is going to be crazy. Now, Howard, I have to ask, Guinness Book of Records, world's fastest reader. How? Okay, it's one of those things like, I've got skills in many things, many abilities, but I haven't gone like, you know what? I can set a world record for this. Come on, Guinness. How did you go, you know what? Yeah, let me go in for this.
I'll give you the short answer and then the real answer. The short answer is I read faster than everyone else, but that's not the answer you want.
You see, I told you you're going to be a card. I told you.
Well, that's how you get in, but there's a little more to it. You have to prove your record. So most people in the book sent a newspaper clipping or a television video. I had 10. I was in 5 cities with 5 reporters who tested me, and 5 cities with 5 news reporters who tested me. So it was 10 reporters, 10 different cities. It was always the same speed. They said, you can't have that many friends and relatives in broadcasting and in news to cover for you, since they all said the same thing and all the cities were accepting your record. And I was the only person ever to get in. I read 80 pages a minute, and they were able, in fact, there's a lot of videos. I was reading the healthcare bill on Fox News. It was 1,500 pages. I read it in 50 minutes on live TV, and then I did an analysis.
Yeah, because this is the thing. Okay, it's one thing to go, you know what? I can read 80 pages a minute. That's no problem. But to go, okay, yes, I can retain. I like to retain it to do an analysis. What the hell?
I'm going to teach you how. I'm going to show you how that works today.
Okay.
I'll let you get you started. I'm big on proving. Anyone can say anything, but it's better to prove it than talk about it.
Yeah, I'll look forward to that. So to come out with a detailed analysis as well. It's just one of those things what kind of blows my mind. I had to go through this stage because because like, hey, how, like, what, like, so what did you apply this to before you, like, you know what I mean, got the Guinness Book of Records? What were you doing beforehand?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll start with my childhood because that's where it usually starts. And then I'll go to where I exploded. I grew up in Brooklyn in a bad part, in the projects, lots of gangs, extremely violent. And I always tell people it's like West Side Story without the dancing and music. I met Bernardo. He had a knife. I literally had a knife to my throat. My dad was pistol whipped. It was just part of growing up there. It was normal. Not that it should be normal, but it was normal. Well, I found one safe place, the library. Gang kids would rather be dead than caught reading books in a library. So I read a lot because it was the only place to go that you wouldn't get beaten. And I had college reading when I was 11. By the time I was 11, I was reading 3,000 words a minute, which is very fast compared to the norm is 200. So that's 15 times faster than normal before I sped up. And then I went to college, and at 17, I went to the State University of New York, Binghamton, which is the flagship college in the state of New York for the state system, majored in biology. Yeah. In my last term of my junior year, I got interested in how the brain works. So I told the dean, I want to major in psych too. You haven't had any courses. You only have 1 year left. You have to do the 4-year psych program in 1 year. You'll have to take 6 science courses a term, finish the bio program, 2 4-hour labs. Lab reports took 16 hours on a slide rule. So it was 40 hours of lab, 18 credits of science. And I made a challenge. I had 3 jobs. I was working 18 hours a week. So he said, you're not smart enough. And that's when I realized they didn't ever teach you how to learn in school. They tell you why to learn and what to learn, but not why it isn't working. You hear a song on the radio once, you remember it your whole life. You read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the next day you know any habits. How can we learn things that matter like we learn songs? So I learned about the brain. I got up to 80 pages a minute. I did the program in 1 year. I took the bio graduate record exam. So to review, I read like 48 books in 3 nights, the books I had for the last 4 years. And so it was biochemistry, cell physiology, genetics, not light reading. And I took the test. I got 3 questions wrong. So I was in the 99th percentile. I got an 800. Then I wondered, was it just me or the system? There's a big difference between, hey, you're a freak, you can do this, or you can teach this. So I took children, 11 to 15 years old, and taught them what I did. And they took a 30-chapter book in lifelong developmental psychology, which is a sophomore course. Remember, they were 11 to 15. They did it in 1 week, and they took the AP test, and 15 of them out of 18 passed it in a week doing it. So I said, okay, now it's much more important than the record. This is learnable. It could help people. And that's what I've been doing. That's why I'm here. I'm here to teach people what I discovered and show them how to get started. And hopefully some of them will consider going to my website, Berg Learning, and learning more. But it'll help people who have kids get through school with good grades and not live with them till they're 40. It'll help people in business make more money because everything you do is based on what you know. So knowing more is better than knowing less. And it'll help older people not turn into vegetables like so many of them do. They just sit there in front of the TV and they can't think anymore. I'm 72 and I just keep going. I write, I lecture, I swim, I lift weights. You're as old as you want to be. You know, if you want to sit back in the rocking chair, then that's how old you are. If you're going to stay alive and write books and lecture and produce new programs, then that's how old you are. And hopefully today we'll get to share some of the things I discovered with our audience so they can see that it works and it'll work for them.
Well, you know what? Doing the weights, you got to maintain that Chippendale body. I've got to say.
Oh, look at that. I look like a sumo wrestler. I tell people, imagine what I look like if I didn't work out. I look like a ball with eyes on it.
Like a ball with eyes on it. Come on. Like, you know what? I do love the fact that you're keeping yourself active, keeping yourself going. Like, and like this is the thing. Like, would you say you are like trying to, like, I'm not saying starting a campaign, but you kind of look at the education system today with it being kind of flawed in a
broken. It's not flawed, it's broken. The first job I got out of college, my job interview as a teacher, the teachers get killed here. Do you want the job? I'm 21. I'm going, nailed it. They're telling me nobody wants to work here. And I'm hearing, you got the job. Yay. So I went to work 10 years. 4 teachers went out on stretches, one in a coma.
Oh my
God. It was as bad as they said. 2% graduated. That means 98% didn't finish. So I said, let me show them how to learn. I can make the numbers better. It's not in the curriculum. Well, you got a 2% success rate. How do I fail? How do I ruin that? What am I going to do? Break down to 1%? Seriously. So I said, fine. So I'm teaching biology. And one of my students said, I don't know how to do the homework. I don't know how to find the answers to the questions in the book that I gave him to learn from. So I'm showing him how to find the answers to his homework. And the principal walks in, he says, what are you doing? And I said, he asked me to show him how to answer the questions for homework in the book. He says, we don't pay you to do that. I told you not to teach learning. You're not teaching biology. You're teaching learning. And he wrote down, I wasn't working because I was helping kids learn. And I was like, that's it. I quit. That was the end of it. I said, I am not going to make kids stupid. I said, I was doing my job. The child asked for help.
Yeah.
I didn't tell them how to do it. They asked me how to do it in the subject I'm teaching. If that's not the job, then what the hell is the job? And so I got out of that system. Now I'm working as a consultant to schools around the world. And these kids some of them are in college at 11, getting A's. I had a lot of that. Most of my students finish college in 2 to 3 years, not 6, like most people do today. So I'm very proud of what I've done, but I'm very proud of them doing it. And I feel like they're not my physical kids, but I feel like they're my family and that I've done something to help make their lives better. And that makes a difference in my life. I was a yogi when I was younger. When I got out of college, I studied how the mind works. Then I studied consciousness. And I felt there's more to a human being than just neurons. If you look at Mona Lisa, you can't see that in the mind of a Da Vinci on the neurons. You can't see the statue of David in Michelangelo's brain. There's something more than just connections going on. And I taught me everybody matters. The reason you and I are here today is someone's growing food. Someone's making clothes. Someone's getting our energy. Otherwise, we'd be busy doing it on our own. We could never have done this. You should be grateful to all those people for doing all the things they do. They let us do the things that we do. There's no small people and there's no small jobs. Everything matters. And it's about helping everyone reach their potential and being grateful for the opportunities we have because other people are doing other things we don't have to take care of ourselves. It's all connected. We're a family. And too many people look at people who are different or from other countries or other cultures as enemies instead of part of the family. And that's part of what we have to fix. They have to understand everybody matters, and we're no better than the weakest people in the family, the people who need the most help. You can see I'm a Rotarian president, so I practice what I preach.
Hey, no, like I hear you. Like this is the thing. Like I look behind you, I see all the books, and I think there should be much more. I imagine the whole room just filled with books. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
I've read 30,000 books in my life. I tell people if I'm an idiot, I'm well informed.
That's more than well informed. That's like, oh my God. Yeah. Like I have to bring it back still to like the whole sort of education and learning side of things. Like, because when you were a teacher and like they came to you and when like, what are you doing? And you're like going, yeah, I'm helping him, like I'm helping this kid learn how to answer the question. Like, was it like, were they just making you teach them how to learn how to do a test rather than actually gain knowledge?
This particular school was so disastrous The reason 2% graduated is they couldn't read, they couldn't write, and they couldn't count. How do you teach science to that? When I was teaching physics, every kid failed the test. So I tested their math to see if it was the math. Because physics is all math. And I gave them 1 times 10, 2 times 10, 10 times 10, and an extra credit, 1.5 times 10. No one in the room, and they were mostly 19 years old, could multiply by 10. They could not multiply by 10. And I'm like, if they can't multiply by 10, how do I teach them physics? There's no way on earth you can do that. It's like they don't speak the language of math to the level of a 3rd grader. And even though it says they're in high school, they don't have the skill set. They shouldn't be here. They should have been taught this 10 years ago. And they just kept pushing them and pushing them and pushing them. And eventually all the things they didn't learn caught up. And when I had a school, you had to get an A. You didn't get to the next class till you learn this one. If you don't know how to add, how are you going to learn how to subtract? If you can't subtract, how are you going to learn multiplication? So they put them in high school, they can't add or subtract, and they're learning algebra. You can't do that. So we made sure every student learned every subject, and they got an A. And they got an A. We didn't give them an A. They got an A. They got every question right. And when they got it right, they moved to the next class. And we made sure they got it right. Before we taught them the subjects, we taught them how to learn, how to think, how to analyze, how to understand, something every school should do. And then they understood learning. And then they learned is they understood how to learn, which is not what we do in our schools.
Yeah, no, because this is the thing with like when you say a high school and like this, and this is the thing, a high school in the United States of America, like, okay, like what back when you were like, let's say when you were less mature, let's just say, like, yeah, you're talking
50 years ago.
Well, yeah, 50 years ago, like the whole like on the sort of world scale of things, the education level of America was up there in like, I think in the top 10, if you get what I mean. And when you're like going, yeah, there were kids who couldn't do like their time, like 10 times table, you kind of like go, oh. And like, it's one of those things what kind of shocked me, because when I kind of look at the American system, I look at the system here in the UK, there are sort of many things which I think are lacking with regards to basically get kids to have critical thinking, learn outside of the box, push themselves to develop themselves and like go, yeah, show a real interest. Because look, the 21st century is going to be a century where, yeah, the smarter you are, the better you do. And look, with people not sort of going to college and not like pushing their sort of realm of education, it's one of those things where you're like going, hey, how can we help give the tools to this generation to help them move forward, you know?
I could start doing it now if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll be very interested. Come on, yeah.
Okay. So first, I'll show you how to read faster, which I don't think is as important as understanding better. I think comprehension is nobody really wants to read fast. They want to learn fast, understand better, and remember it when they need it. Those are really important. Most students think learning is 2 things: how many hours you read and how many pages you read. No. Did you understand it? Can you use it when you need it? You could look for 6 hours in a book and not know how to do anything. So who cares how many hours you look? You can't use it.
Yeah.
You didn't learn anything. They don't understand it. It's in hours. I did a graduate course in educational psychology in 7 hours. I read the book 4 times. It was a 5-month course, but I did an AP test. So the test was 6 hours. I did it in 50 minutes and I got a B+. Then he said, why did you get an A? I didn't need the course. I needed the credits. I was a teacher. I needed to get credits to keep my license. So my goal wasn't to learn the course. I needed a C- to get the credits. I got a B+. So for what I was trying to accomplish, get 4 credits, in 7 hours and 50 minutes for $65, I got 4 graduate credits. I thought that was really good because I didn't have to go to school twice a week and spend $5,000 and drive back and forth and park and do homework and read books every day. I did it in 1 day. And to me, that was the win.
Yeah, I'm scared to ask. Like, okay, how many degrees do you have?
I have 1, and I'll tell you why. I wanted a PhD in psychobiology. That was my dream.
Right.
Psychobiology was what I loved. So I found out before I went to graduate school, for every PhD, there were 2 jobs for every 1,000 PhDs, 500 people for each job. And I'm like, okay. So I spend $100,000, $200,000 on my education, and I got 1 chance in 500 of nailing a job. And with so many people willing to do it, they pay you nothing. Because if you don't want it, they got 499 other people to talk to. So I'm like, okay, you're going to owe $250,000 and make nothing. You'll never be able to pay your bills that way. So it didn't make sense. It wasn't that I didn't want to. Mm-hmm. It wasn't practical. It was an impractical path if you wanted to make a living. So what I did instead is I studied on my own because I can learn fast.
Yeah.
And I earned the equivalent of what a doctorate would learn by doing it on my own. And I found business applications for how the brain works. How do you read faster? How do you understand? How do you remember? And that's kind of what I'll do with you today.
Okay. Like, yeah, I'm now very intrigued to learn one of these techniques. I'm sure people at home would be, very intrigued as well. So what would be like one of the sort of techniques you would lay down on someone?
I'm going to do 4. I'm going to teach you to read faster, then how to comprehend better, then emotional intelligence, how to stay in the right state to use it when you need it, which is very, very important, and then how to remember. So that'll give us some 4 solid skills that'll get everyone started. And you're going to read 20 to 40% faster in the next, let's say 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
So when we're done, pick a book you've read. So the only thing confusing you is your speed. Since you already know what's in the book, you're not learning it, you're seeing how fast you can read. Get a timer and read for a minute normal. Don't do anything you don't normally do. Just read like you read now. And then see how far you get. And then take a pencil, put a little line in the margin where you finish. So you say, that's how far I read now. So now we got an assessment. Now the magic. Go to the second chapter. Take your hand. Go across 1 line at a time, eyes following your hand. And this is the key. As fast as you could comprehend. So as long as you know what you're reading, go quicker and quicker and quicker till you don't. And that's when you realize you went too fast, because you should know what you're reading. You understand the book. Slow down just enough so you understand. No faster than you understand, no slower than you understand. 5 minutes, as fast as you understand, 1 line at a time. Now go back to the first chapter where you tested yourself. Take your timer out. Time yourself for a minute. Use your hand and go as fast as you can comprehend. And that little mark that you made, you'll pass it by 20 to 40%. Just doing that. That's the first step in the Berg learning process.
Okay. So,
but not the most important. That's step 1. Okay. I'm going to say comprehension is more important. Nobody wants to read fast. Learn fast. Yes. I was on MSNBC say about 25 years ago when it first started. Dick Cavett, who was famous in the 70s, is a big talk show host. He was one of the first hosts on this show. And I got to do an interview with him. And we were chatting after the interview. We got to like each other. We were talking. And he said he had interviewed Woody Allen. And Woody Allen told him he took Evelyn Woods, which was the big speed reading program. And he read War and Peace in 5 minutes. And he said, Woody, that's amazing. What do you remember? And Woody said, it's about the Russian Revolution. That's all I remember. And that was speed reading. It's a biology book. It's a math book. I didn't learn any biology and I didn't learn any math. And if you slowed down and learn what you didn't know, you lost your speed. You just did those hand things all the time or none of the time. You could not stop. I fixed it. The guy who owned Evelyn Woods was Maurice Thompson Jr. He hired me to teach his son my system and said I went past speed reading and speed learning, and I'm going to show you one of the secrets now. When I took graduate courses in how to teach reading, one of the key elements was called schema. And I'm going to demonstrate how it works right now so you can see why it matters. Okay. I'll read a passage with no schema, and it'll be very confusing. Then I'll read it again with one word, a title, and instantly you'll understand everything with no effort because the schema is the key. You ready?
Okay.
This is the schemaless text. This is an easy thing to do. If possible, you could do it at home, but you could always go someplace else if it's necessary. Beware of overdoing it. This is a major mistake and may cost you quite a bit of money. And you have no idea what I'm talking about because there's no schema. Now you will. Here's the title. Listen again. Laundry. Laundry. This is an easy thing to do. If possible, you could do it at home, but you could always go someplace else if it's necessary. Beware of overdoing it. This is a major mistake and may cost you quite a bit of money. Perfectly understood. I'm teaching people what their brain is looking for to make the meaning come true to their brain. So they go 2, 3, 4 times faster, understanding better because they're not just moving their hand, they're understanding what to look for and how to find it. And it works in very, very technical material like law and medicine and chemistry. And by teaching them the psychology, not just the mechanics, they can slow down, learn something they didn't know, and speed right back up again, which in the past you could not do. It was all fast or none. You couldn't sometimes read fast. So that fixed that problem, and it made a huge difference. So that's two strategies. I'm happy to share more if you would like.
Oh no, like you said 4. I'm here for those other 2 right now. Because yes. Yeah. That's
okay.
Right. Yeah.
The next one is emotional intelligence. I don't know if I mentioned, I trained the U.S. Special Forces at Fort Bragg, the Royal Thai Army in Bangkok, the Canadian Forces in Toronto, and they're very well trained. But sometimes they're awake 3-4 days in a row, no sleep. And if you get tired and you don't remember what you were taught, you could die when you're in that kind of a situation. You have a bad day, I have a bad day, we go home late. They have a bad day, they don't go home at all. So I was teaching them how to wake up when they're tired to stay focused on their mission. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. So if you're going to school after work for a degree and you're tired, you can wake up, or a long meeting, you get tired, or driving in traffic. I've been to London several times. You have traffic. It's insane. It's really bad traffic. I think everyone watching would agree. London has traffic. I'm not being derogatory when I say that.
That's a little bit of traffic, not too much.
It's a little. What should take you 5 minutes to walk will take an hour and a half in a car, right?
No.
No, but close. Sometimes there are times. It depends on what part of the city you're in and what time of the day it is. There are some real bad spots where you don't move. Well, New York was like that. I went to a show once. I had to be on the air at 3:30. I got to the block that the show was on at 2:30. That's an hour ahead. That's very good. I had to go around the corner to park. It took 45 minutes to go around one block. 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Got to the show with 5 minutes to spare. I was there an hour early.
Yeah. So I have been to your fair city a number of times. Basically, I was working over in the States as a summer a camp counselor. I don't know if you know of an organization called the Fresh Air Fund.
Yes.
Yeah. I was up in the big camps up in Fishkill. So yeah,
that is, yeah. I was a swimming teacher over the summer when I was in college. I worked at a lot of camps upstate as well. For swimming. When I was working my way through college, I did it as a swim instructor.
Outstanding. Yeah.
So emotional intelligence. We know the left side of the brain controls the right, and the right controls the left. Do this with me. And if you're watching, do this with us. Take your left hand, touch your right shoulder, right hand, touch your left, back and forth. It's like the Macarena without the music. Now, ideally, we should stand, but we'll just be showing off our sweatpants. So we won't do that right now. But later on, do it standing. It'll work better. For now, we can do it seated. Left hand to right knee, right hand to left knee. When you're standing, your knee will move and not just your hand. And that's both sides of your brain. Grab your thumb like I am in your hand and say this like you mean it. Listen to how I'm saying, I feel great. Yes.
I feel great. Yes.
Yes, like you mean it. If you go, I feel great, that's what you'll feel later. And that's not what you want. Or, yeah, I feel great. We're going to do 3 sets of these. And when we're done, I'm going to show you to wake up instantly. Ready? My speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Yes. Little faster this time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How do you feel?
You're great. Feel great.
Yes. This time as fast as you can with it. If you're standing, go away from a table so you don't bang your knees. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How do you feel? I feel great.
Yes.
You know what happens? You do this 3 times, nothing. Now you probably would like something. So let me show you how that works. Remember Pavlov? He rang a bell, he fed a dog. He rang a bell, he fed a dog. It's our rotary bell. He rang a bell and the dog drooled. You don't want to drool. You do want to feel great. The latest studies show habits take 90 days. So every day, slow, medium, fast, and I feel great. That's your bell. Now you're in an important meeting. Don't stand up and start tapping on your shoulder. People will think you are not well. Okay, grab your thumb and say to yourself, I feel great, yes. And every time you've done that, you woke yourself up. And your brain remembers. And you wake up, whether you're in the car driving, at a meeting. And this is what I was teaching the military. This is called emotional intelligence. Imagine I teach you to drive. I say, hey, you know what? You're ready for your road test. You go and call me up. I failed. Why would you fail? You're perfect. I got nervous. It was a test. You know anyone ever got nervous on a road test or any other test? That's emotional intelligence. What if I didn't teach you to drive, but also how to stay calm taking the test? How many more of my students would successfully finish the test and be able to get a license? I get more referrals. I have more happy customers. Emotional intelligence in business. What do you need to do to get people in the state to do what they need to do successfully when you're telling them what to do? And what state might be interfering? EQ skills, very, very important.
Like it a lot. Hey, so it's like, yeah.
One more skill.
Okay, yes, I'm looking for this one.
Memory. As people say, okay, you read fast, do you remember anything? Yes, lots. So can you, but you haven't been taught how. But now you will be taught how, and you'll remember too. I'm going to give you 10 things to remember and not tell you how. Watch how hard it is. Then I'll tell you how and watch how easy it is. Here's 10 things you want to remember. Pole, shoes, tricycle, car, glove, gun, dice, skate, cat, bowling pins. I'm going to bet you don't know all of them right now, effortlessly, backwards and forwards, in any order. Not right now. But you will. In just 3 minutes. In fact, this is so simple, You can teach this to children as young as 3, and they will learn it. Honestly, I've done it. There's 2 things to know. You remember 10% of what you read, 90% of what you say and do. This isn't a drill. This is a real tool. You will use it. So when I ask you to say and do that, and our audience as well, because it'll lock it in, so you will be able to use it later. 2, one of the big secrets to memory, and there are many, is what you know already is hanging in your memory. And the ancient Greeks discovered if you take a list you know, and I'm going to bet you can count to 10, it's hanging in your memory. And we're going to use each of those 10 numbers to learn 10 things super fast. Are you ready?
Okay.
Number 1, it looks like a pole, like a flagpole or a lamp pole. When I say 1, you say pole. 1.
Oh.
Excellent. 2 is shoes. You wear 2 shoes. What's 2?
Shoes.
What was 1?
Oh.
3 is tricycle, 3 wheels. What's 3?
Tricycle.
What's 2?
Shoes.
What's 1?
Oh.
And you see pictures. 4 is a car. There's 4 tires on a car. 4 is a car. What's 4?
A car.
2.
Shoes.
1.
A pole.
3.
Tricycle.
Jumping everywhere. It doesn't matter. Your brain's learning how it works now. 5 is a glove. How many fingers in a glove?
5.
What's 5?
A glove.
What was 3?
A tricycle.
What was 1?
A pole.
6 gun. When I lived in Texas, they love guns. They're cowboys. 6 gun. What's 6?
A gun.
What was 4? What is 4 tires?
A car.
2.
Shoes.
Lucky 7 and dice. Lucky 7. 7 dice. What's 7?
Dice.
5, giving you a clue.
Gloves.
3.
A glove. I'm sorry. Tricycle.
1.
Pole.
Doing fantastic. Rhymes work. Say 8 skate.
8 skate.
What's 8?
Skate.
6. What did they love in Texas?
Guns.
4.
A car.
2.
Shoes.
We're almost done. 9 lives. A cat has 9 lives. Cat has 9 lives. What has 9 lives?
A cat.
Great. What's 7 lucky in?
Dice.
5.
Glove.
3.
Tricycle.
1.
Pole.
Last number is 10. How many bowling pins are in an alley when you go to bowl?
10.
What's 10?
Bowling pins.
Perfect. Let's do the 10 together that you couldn't do. 1.
Pole.
2.
Shoes.
3.
Tricycle.
4.
Car.
5.
Glove.
6. Texas.
Gun.
7's lucky in.
Dice.
8 rhymes with.
Skate.
9 is
Cat.
10.
Pins.
How does it make you feel?
Great.
Great. Now here's how you use it. This is a way to speed learn numbers. Let me show you how. You go to a hotel. Your room is 314. How many times by the time you're in the lobby, you forgot what room you were in? Here's how to do it. Turn numbers to pictures. 3 is a tricycle. 1 is a pole. 4 is a car. Make a movie. A tricycle hits a pole on a car. A tricycle hits a pole on a car. Tricycle, what number?
3.
It's a pole.
1.
On a car.
4.
That's your hotel room. Tricycle, pole, car. It's also pi. When you're teaching kids geometry, 3.14 is how you measure a circle. So I use it with children for math and science and history dates, business people, due dates, percentages, room numbers. The 0, because the numbers alphabet is 0 to 9. There are no other numbers. There's different place values. 0, there's units, there's tens, 0 to 9. That's all there is. The 0 is the 10 bowling pins. So you have a picture now for every one of the 9 numbers that you could have to know from 0 to 9. You have 10 pictures, and you can string the pictures together in a movie. And when you play your movie, you can remember any number.
Ah.
Berglearning.com. That's where it all is.
My God. Fascinating. Fascinating. So
and fun. And you know something? It's important. How many teachers put you to sleep? A good teacher makes it fun. You know why? Because when you're having fun, your brain wants to remember what made it feel good. And what made it feel good was learning what you needed to know. You remember better when you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, no, I agree. I got to say, yeah, wow. So, like, how long did it take you to get that technique down?
Well, I'm 72, so I'm going to say.
Come on now, you haven't been a lifelong learner. There was that time when you were Chippendale. Say no more.
I learn every day. Every day, I push myself. I want something challenging every day that I don't understand. It's like exercising your brain, the way you work out in the gym with weights. If you challenge your brain every day to have to think about something confusing, challenging, hard, it gets smarter. You keep using it or you lose it. There's only two ways you can go. You use it or you lose it. And too many people have stopped using their brain. Let's hope. Most people, if they want to make more money, they do two things they do. They work more hours or they work more jobs. No, that isn't how you make more money. You get smarter, you learn something people pay more money for you to do, and you work less hours and make more money. That's the real way people make money. They learn something that's worth more. How do you do that? You read books, you take classes, you talk to people, and books are the key. So by learning, let's say I want to learn a new skill. If I could read 10 books in 3 hours, which I can, then I can learn a new skill really fast. Most people can read a book an hour when I'm done with them. I had a 84-year-old read 3 books in 3 hours, and I know you're not 84. So you could do at least a book an hour. Now imagine the rest of your life, every day you learn a new skill. How to sell, how to market, how to write, how to communicate, how to remember, whatever it is you don't know. At the end of the year, that's 365 new skills, year after year after year after year. What does that do to your income? What does it do to your business? What does it do to the amount of money you can earn every hour as you become smarter and more skilled and more people want what you have? That's the way you succeed today. It's a knowledge-based economy. Most jobs that are easy are going to disappear. Within the next 5 to 10 years, trucks will be computers. There won't be drivers. Why would you want someone to drive who takes a nap, has to go to the toilet, needs to get paid, has a vacation, sick time? A machine doesn't sleep. It never stops. It just drives till it gets there. It doesn't get paid. It works 24 hours. It doesn't need a rest. So, yeah, it's bad for truck drivers. It's great for the person who owns the truck company. What are those truck drivers going to do for a living? Become neurosurgeons? There's a reason they're truck drivers. The jobs that people have that make a good living that are doable by a machine will be done by machines. There'll be no more easy money. If you want to be successful in today's knowledge-based economy, you better get smarter fast, or you'll be watching other people taking jobs away from you with machines and wonder, what am I supposed to do now? I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no job. And my answer is learn how to learn how to be smarter, learn how to think, learn how to build your own business. Let me give you a story on that, a real one.
Yeah, go for it.
Children, 11 to 15 in Sugar Land, Texas. It's a suburb of Houston. One of the little kids' brothers had Down syndrome, and they wanted to help find a cure. Well, obviously, they're not doctors, so they try to raise money. They read a book, how to make a website, made their own website, made a product, studied public speaking in books, did public speaking for a year. In their first year, these children, they were 11 to 15, made $93,000 US in their first year business. And they won the Silver Pyramid, which is the Oscar in advertising. Once a year, they have like an Academy Award for advertising in Vegas. Best not-for-profit in America. They beat Rotary. They beat American Red Cross. They were 11 to 15 years old. What if every child in your country and mine learned how to do this? Can you imagine what it could do for our economies, for their futures? They learned how to build a company when they were 11. They were making close to 100 grand American a year at 11 years old. What would they be doing at 20 or 30 or 40? I had a student do 4-year college in 6 months, the whole thing. His name was Brad Vola. Very smart. He went to Thomas Edison. That's Rutgers online program.
Okay.
They let you take AP, 90% AP, advanced placement tests. So he did 5 a week, which is extraordinary, super smart. He took 1 online class and 5 AP tests a week. 6 months in, he finished his bachelor's. Then he learned Chinese in 3 weeks. Not a normal person. Not a normal person. I'm not telling you he's normal. He's not. And then he became a missionary. And when he was 40, he sold his company for $38 million. That alone, you're a missionary. How do you make money as a missionary? $38 million when he was 40 years old, selling his missionary company. That's what I want to see happen for people watching. I want them and their children to learn how to learn so they can build a future for themselves and have a future in a world where it's getting harder and harder and harder. Used to be, you went to college, you worked hard, you had a good job, you made a living, you could take vacations, you had a nice life. That isn't true anymore. There are people with degrees that are broke, that are hard workers, they're smart, they want to work, they're broke. It isn't enough to just have education. What I tell people, reading faster and learning more won't make you rich, not for certain. But not knowing anything will guarantee you will fail. The dumber you are, the better the chances are you will not succeed. So yes, learning is like a college degree. It gives you an ability. You have to use it. You have to use it. It isn't enough to learn. You have to use it. And I'm teaching them all of that and how to use it.
Yeah, no, because like this is the thing, like to me, like, yes, like with this conversation we're having, yeah, you might have a Guinness Book of World Records of being the fastest reader, but like the whole thing is that is just, yeah, a small tip of your iceberg, but it's about empowerment, truthfully. And yeah, getting people
much more important. Me getting in the book gets me booked on shows. People, oh, he's got a Guinness record. Maybe he's interesting. And that's fine, because I get to tell people what they really need to know, not about Howard, about them and their kids and their parents and how they could stay smarter and make more money and have more successful lives. And that's really what it's for to me. It's paying it forward. Me having a record doesn't help you. Teaching you what I do makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, no, I hear that big time. And like this is the thing, like with regards to like your empowering people, where do you see this going, like in the next, say, few years? What direction do you want to take it in?
Actually working with a gentleman in England, Mr. QOL, the Quality of Life Academy. And we're putting together a program to train people in the UK and Europe how to teach this. And we'll license them. That's one of the things we're doing. I'm doing that right now with a gentleman in the UK. And that's a big part of what I'm doing. We just redid everything and put it online. My reading program is now in 109 languages. So whatever language you speak, you probably will find it there. 109 languages is a lot of languages.
Right.
Pretty sure most people speak one of them, and the ones that don't probably live in the jungles of Brazil somewhere and don't know what electricity is. So they're probably not my prime audience.
just come out and go, yeah, I know you read fast. Oh, teach me. Hey.
Right. They don't know what a book is, let alone reading. So
absolutely. So, so 190 languages. Like, wow. So with this, like you've like gone through this over the course of time. I can only imagine what your life journey has been like. But like, yeah. And now you're like taking on this next stage. So if someone came to you and went, hey, like, how far can I go? What would you say to them?
I could show them what some people have done. Stephen Terry graduated UTA at 16 with a 4.0 economics major, had a master's in math at 19 with a 397 GPA, professor at Yale. Justin Brummett was a C student, normal kid, not a genius, normal person. Took the program, finished high school at 15, 2-year degree at 17, 4-year degree at 19, master's in English at 21, college English professor at 22. Who would have predicted an 11-year-old student running C's would be a professor at 22?
It's one of those things where it's like, you kind of like, okay, like when you say a C level student, right? That's not like the guy who was a missionary.
No, he was off the scale smart. Yeah, off the scale.
But you get what I mean. When someone goes a C student, I'm a C student. That is like, yeah, okay.
I had a special ed student.
Okay.
We had a young lady, Amy. I won't give you her last name.
Okay.
She had 3rd grade reading in 9th grade. They put her in special education, said, you're going to say, welcome to Walmart when you grow up. And she started to cry. Because that's basically what they were going to teach her to do. Button a shirt and say, hi, welcome to Walmart. Look, my buttons are closed. You know, that was her future. And she was hysterical. Her mother came to my school. We found out her problem. When we got done with her, she finished high school and got a 2-year degree with a 4.0. When the people in her school, which she was in high school, first got out of high school, she already had 2 years of college with an A, went to Baylor on a full scholarship, got a bachelor's, and then a master's degree at 22. She was special ed. Now, I can't tell you everybody in special ed is going to do that. That's not real.
No.
She worked really hard, and her mother helped her, and we taught her what she needed to do, and she listened. She listened and let us help her. It's very easy to help someone who wants to be helped. It's difficult to help someone who won't listen or follow the instruction, in which case they're going to get the results that they had before. They didn't do anything you told them. Well, what happens when you don't do what you need to do? Doesn't turn out well.
Yeah. but that's the thing. The way, like, with all the conversation here, it's like, yeah, you don't have to be like some Stephen Hawking egghead, like superstar. Everything,
normal person.
Yeah.
We did a double-blind study, 100 normal people, not geniuses, just people who said, yeah, I'd like to learn this. And we used the Nelson-Denny, which is a standard, like an IQ test. It's a standard test for speed and comprehension, both. And we split them into 2 groups. We wanted to make sure the second test wasn't simpler, so it made them look smarter.
Yeah.
So the first test was college, and the second one was 1st grade. Look at you, you're doing much better. Well, yeah, it's 1st grade. No, we did 50 did A and B, and 50 did B and A, and we compared, and all of them doubled to quadrupled, most doubled, with very, very good comprehension. These were normal, everyday, not genius people. Normal, everyday people. So we can confidently say a normal person who does what I teach will go at least 100% faster and know what they're reading and know how to remember it. Many people go 3 or 4 times, and that's immediate. That's before they practice. That's before they read subjects they know more about, which is easier than when you don't know anything. But right after you're done, you should be 100% faster. And that's something I could safely predict for the normal person taking the program at berglearning.com.
How long does this program take? Just out of interest,
It's a 7-week program, but we made it short. We made 10-minute lessons. But it used to be 4 hours, and we found that young people today can't sit for 4 hours. They have a different attention span than we had. So we chopped it into shorter lessons and updated the material, gave them more chances to practice, and we made it a longer time, but a very little every day. So it doesn't take a lot of effort to go 10 minutes a day to learn something. And at the end of the 7 weeks, they've gotten the whole system down and they've learned how to do it, and they're ready to rock and roll and do what they were taught. I'm working on I actually wrote a book in 5 hours. It went #1 on Amazon. So I made a program on how to do that. A writing program. I'm teaching Genius. That's another I haven't made that one yet commercial.
Okay.
But how to be creative and how to think out of the box and solve problems. And that's something I can teach also.
My God. Wait, a book in 5 hours. How many pages was this book?
Short. It was 60 pages. Okay. It was a PDF. Now, I tell people, you want to write 300 or 400 pages, you could do 50, 60 pages a day for a week. And at the end of the week, you got yourself a 400-page book. And that is really, really easy. It's as easy as the memory was that I showed you, or how to speed up. It's always easy. It's just I figured out how to do it very, very quickly.
Yeah, no. You know what? I still think I can remember all of the things you guys said to me.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah. Oh my God. A book in, okay, madness. I say madness because it's just like, right, because it sounds extraordinary, but like I think I'm looking at it from the standpoint of I have never really sort of pushed myself on that side of things, so I don't kind of know.
Try it, you'll see it'll work. I wanted the solution to be easier than the problem, or it's just a new problem.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad I've met you, sir. I'm glad I met you, because I know, like, the whole thing is like I am a strong believer. Like, I truly believe you can help make the world better through conversation, discourse. Now, because one of the things which is going so horribly wrong in this world, you cannot have a conversation and you cannot bring new ideas without it enraging people to like the nth degree. And like this is the thing, through conversation, good ideas and bad ideas come up. More times than not, the bad ideas get taken out and they're gone. But with regards to what you bring with it, it's a case of, okay, yes, we all do need to learn more. We all do need to like keep improving ourselves. But people go, I don't have the time. People go, I can't because I've got this or that going on. People are, I'm not smart enough to do this. But with the way you're talking, with what you're saying,
you can do it. 10 minutes a day, you can do 10 minutes. And it's normal people. It's not geniuses. If you're a genius, it's going to help you be even smarter. A lot of these people were geniuses, getting a master's degree at 19 with a 3.97. That's a genius. But an 11-year-old with a C average teaching in college at 22, that's normal. That's not a genius. He's smart now. Yeah. Because he learned how to be smart. He learned how to think. He learned how to analyze. He learned how to learn, which is what we don't teach. How do you learn? And what do you do when you don't learn and you have to learn anyway? Because that's a big part. I read the calculus book and I don't know how to do anything. Well, you still have to learn how to do everything. What are you going to do now? And that's what we teach. How do you figure it out? How do you move to the next level and make it so a normal person with a normal brain can do it and not have to be a genius? Over time, as they read more and more and learn more and more, they get smarter because they understand more and they have more options. And that's what you're right. The world needs people who can think. No one watches the news in our country and says there's too many smart people making too many good decisions. I haven't heard that from anybody. We need to teach people how to learn, how to think. We need to teach this to children who are going to be given all the problems we created and haven't got a clue what they're going to do about it. So they can find solutions and not just be given problems. And I feel that's really what my job is. I found a way to do it, and I'm going on shows to tell people the solution does exist. You can try it risk-free at berglearning.com. See it for yourself. Help your kids get better grades, make more money at work. Make sure your parents don't turn into vegetables when they're over 70. And it's been proven to work. And we're here to help. And that's all I can do. I can offer it. I can show it. I can demonstrate. But they have to take that step. Go to the website and actually do it. Hearing about it doesn't change anything.
No, it doesn't, because like the whole thing is like, like should have, would have, could have, or just saying like never actually gets anything done. It's like the proof in the pudding is in the doing. Yeah. It's like you tell someone, yes, you can bench press 100 pounds, and like you go, okay, right, we're gonna talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna show you. Like I can show you the bench and everything like this, but you're not going to actually touch it. You're just going to just talk about it, like pontificate. Okay, now it's a big day. Let's lift that 100 pounds. It's like, ain't going to happen.
No, exactly right. That's exactly right. You want to put them through the process and have them see. To me, the only results that matter are yours. Why do you care if someone else learned it? All that matters is you learning it and you getting the benefit. And I think every person, as a Rotarian, we try to make sure everyone learns it. We have a staff that works with them if they need help. And if they don't fix it, I do. Because I want to make sure everyone who pays for this program learns what they paid for. Because that's what business should be. You should get what you paid for. And if you're not doing that, you should be in business. That's how I feel.
Outstanding. I know, outstanding. So now, with like I've got, you have given me a rich supply and a lot of thinking to do over the next, for the next few months. But So if there was if I had the power to grant you one wish, because I am a being of supreme cosmic power, like one wish, and you can't wish for infinite wishes. You can't.
Oh, damn you. That was my wish.
You think this is my first rodeo? Don't even start with me. Don't even start.
Half an infinity?
No. No infinite wishes. No writing down a list of things on a piece of paper and like I wish everything on this list came true. No. But yeah, and no bring back people from there. I have to take the Aladdin rules into that perspective. But if there was one thing I could like give you as a wish, what would that one thing be?
What I'm doing actually makes a difference in the world. That people who can think learn more. Someone figures out how to cure cancer because they read more books and understood them better. Someone figures out how to make green energy because they read more books and understood things other people miss because they didn't read as much. Someone figures out how to get people to like each other again and stop hating everybody that's different. I mean, that's my dream. I can't fix everything, but I can teach the people who have the potential for solving the problems how to learn the things they need to solve the problems. And all of those people, my family, I see them as my family, my extended family, can go out there and make the kind of world we all would like to see because they got smart enough and learned what they needed to do to make it happen. Wow, that would mean my life really mattered for something and I've accomplished something amazing. And I can look in the mirror every day and say, I'm glad that you were here. I'm glad he was alive. He made a difference. That would be a very fulfilling way and make a living doing it also. I think that would also be part of it. You know, you want to help people, but you also have to pay your bills like everyone else. And I volunteer a lot. Like I gave my program to a school in Malawi, poorest country in the world. They can't buy food. How are they going to pay for a program? I just donated it this week to a school in Haiti. They're broke. They have no food. It's the poorest country in the hemisphere. So, yeah, I do help people who need that help. If they're in that dire situation, they have nothing, I'm going to try to help pull them out of that because that's the right thing. That's what Rotary is about. It's helping people. So I do what I try to pay it forward. I make money with people who are succeeding and help them succeed more so they make more money, help their kids make money, help their parents stay smarter. And I take that and I give it towards people who have nothing and are hopeless. And I want to give them hope. And that's my wish that it keeps going that way because that's really what I'm doing with my life. That is what I'm living for.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Thank you. Thank you very much, Howard, for doing it. Like, hey, like I'm gonna have to say, yeah. How can people find you out there in the big wide world? How can they find you on these interwebs?
Berg Learning, B-E-R-G, like my name is Howard Berg, berglearning.com. If you want to email me, howard@berglearning.com. Be happy to answer any questions they have. They're not sure, maybe it won't work for me. I'll tell them what they need to know. I'll give them a good piece of chunk of information to make a good decision. But I know I can help normal people who want to be helped. If you want to be helped and you're willing to do what I teach, you will get the results that you're expecting. I know that because I've done this for 35 years.
Outstanding. I'll put all the notes to how you can find Howard in the show notes, in the description. So yeah, I got to say, yes, I still have that percolating in my head about like pole, shoes, tricycle, car, like glove, gun, yeah, 7, dice, yeah, 8, skate, 9, what was 9? Like 10 was pin, 9
lives.
Sorry?
It has 9 knives.
Oh, it was cats. Excuse me.
And that's how you learn, by the way. When you don't remember it, if you do what I just did, it stimulates that neural connection better. And after a few rehearsals, it'll stick. That's how the brain learns. That's not a mistake. That's how your brain learns.
There you go. See, see, like, yeah, good stuff. Very good stuff. So yeah, please go out there, find like Howard. Yeah, take up some of the lessons. I think, yeah, you'll become a little bit more smarter than you were the before.
A lot. No one got up and said, I want to be dumber today than I was yesterday. I want to make less money than I did yesterday. I want an uglier life partner. Nobody says that. Everybody wants to do better with their life. And the key is what you know. Every decision you're going to make is what you know. If you know more, you've got a much better opportunity for doing well than if you know less.
Indeed. Indeed. So yes, Howard, I'd like to say thank you for you coming.
Thank you.
Today. It was a pleasure. It's an honor. And yes, namaste. I have learned something today. And yes, you may have got a student already, but that's another story. Hey, all cool. And yes, I'd like to say thank you to you, my friends, my life warriors, for sticking with us up until this point. I'd like to say, please stay safe, stay well, be awesome, be excellent, be fantastic. Be all the positive bees you can be in this world and then some. Have a great one, guys. Yes. Peace. And we are